We are continuing the mission of Blade to Blade with the expanded rules, the extra rules from Warhammer Conquest issue number 3, Extra Play. The arsenal's been opened. The Reivers now have 1 extra attack each. They have 3 attacks each. They haven't yet included Sergeant, but that's the way the rules play in the Conquest magazine. With the Death Guard, it's slightly different. They now have access to a Power Fist. That's the model which keeps on destroying itself by rolling a 1 and knocking itself out of play. But it has access to a Power Fist that it can use. And the other 2 models, guarding side by side there, actually have a Plague Knife. Wound rolls of 1 get re-rolled. Okay, so let's have a look at the board and see where we are. This mission is actually quite interesting because we have an objective sitting on the side by the Chaos Space Marines. They're taking away information which, once they return to their ship, they can mount a larger boarding party to attack the Space Marine strike cruiser. The Reivers have to get over here and get into contact within, I think it's 6 turns. Let's just confirm that. Yes, within 6 turns they need to touch the objective, and that's all. So now we know from the previous battle that these 2 teams are quite even. It's kind of tough to remove these Chaos Space Marines, and that's actually quite a good selection by Games Workshop to give you those to start with. So what I suggest is advancing as quickly as possible and just get into that objective, and that's all. For the Chaos Space Marines or Death Guard Marines, I suggest blocking off this area and surrounding the objective as best they can. Okay, Space Marines start off first, and because I'm playing to the objective versus trying to shoot them off the board, I'm going to run them straight up. The Death Guard, all they need to do is wipe them out, and they're going to focus fire on each one that gets into their range. So let's start off advancing the first character, the second character, and the third character. So I've got the 2 6s and a 4. 4 for the first one, give them a total move of 10. Let's just run straight up. These 2 have 12. A little tip if you're using these rulers, it's quite easy to get caught out in distance. You could always just put the other one to the top there just to add up to 12 if you don't have a ruler. Take off an extra inch there. Needs about 12, so that will do. This one's 12. Gonna go around this way. 4. And we want to 8. Moved up quite a bit due to barrels. Good. So they're moved all the way up, and that's all they can do this turn. Now we want the Death Guard to make their movements. So first of all, let's block off this area. We don't want them getting any further here, so they can't get past. It's a good idea to use terrains as traps. Consider it that the Spartans at the hot gates for 300. Move this guy here, or move that guy there, just to block off the objective as much as we can. Now I've moved him forward to ensure I can get a shot here, here, and here if need be. But we know how he likes to roll 1s, don't you? So maybe I don't even fire with him at the minute. So let's make a start. Machine bolter, here, let's go. No hit. The blight launchers work fairly well. Let's see if we can get a hit on this guy here. 1 hit, wounds on a 3, wounded. Can he save on a 5? No save. So that's the first wound that the Reiver has received. Let's mark that down. Normally it'd be a good idea to have a different colour dice for this, like so you can tell, or maybe dice with actual numbers on them to prevent you from picking them up and re-rolling by accident. You know, it's just a good idea to do that. Stops a lot of aggravation. So plasma gun, let's see, this guy's the closest, oops, and I want to stop him from getting the objective, so let's try the plasma gun on him. Don't roll a 1, he rolls a 2. So freaking close. Okay. You know he's so wanting to die. Well done, mate. Well done. It comes to charging now. These guys have an opportunity to charge, and it's going to start off with the guy with the power fist there, the champion. So let's charge him. 7. He's definitely going to get in, but I'm going to try and stay as close as possible to this guy. He's within half an inch, and that's fine. Really, I should trap him, stop him from moving. Doesn't matter. He gets to fire Overwatch. 1 shot, doesn't hit. Let's use the Conquest rules for this attack. Now he is the plague champion, but only has one attack as per the rules of Conquest, and that's how I'm going to play it. Let's roll to hit, 2, he fails, and we move on. Now the other 2 didn't charge, so they're in place. So it's his turn to return attacks. He has 3 attacks. So he gets 2 hits, needs 5 to wounds, 1 and 2 wounds. And this is not looking good for him. He just needs 3+ to save. And he's okay. That's brilliant. So now it's the Space Marine's turn. The Reivers will continue to move up. Now he's a roadblock currently, so we have to get rid of him. Or maybe try and sneak around. I think that's a Reiver thing to do. So let's advance. 1, 7. Let's have a look. So he's moved up 7. And there he is. So if I thought about it, I might have moved him just a bit closer, but then he could have run past anyway, this guy over here. Let's move him up 6. And these guys will continue. He's going to fire, he's going to fire. Hopefully we can remove him off of that objective. So because there's no one else going to be firing, let's roll them both at the same time. So 2 hits, needing 5 to wound, 1 wound, and a 3+ save. It is saved. Right, let's have him charge. We'll start with this guy first. 7. And here's the beauty of this. When charging, you can go around and touch the objective. That's the mission completed right there. But let's play on for a few more turns, because I want to see what happens. Okay, so let's see. His charge moves in. So 6, he can come there. Rather than go over here, and he can take his wound with him. So, chargers get to go first. So rather than rolling their dice individually, because chargers get to go first, I'm combining their attacks for a total of 6 attacks. And let's go. So we have 3 hits, 5s or better, 1 wound. Saving is on a 3+. Let's go guys, let's see what you get. Saves a 6. So, it's now Space Marine's turn, because they're attackers and aggressors. They get to have another attack. They get to choose their first set of attacks. So it'll be this guy here. Let's go. It's 2 hits, and he does 5s. 1 6. Okay, 1 wound. Will the champion save? Saves. These guys really are disgustingly resilient. It's now their turn. Now there's an interesting thing that I can do at this point. With this guy, I can move away, get closer to that objective. Even though it's done, I move this guy in if I wanted to, but I'm going to leave it as is. What I want to do is move this guy back out of combat, so he can shoot at him with a more powerful weapon. And sometimes it's worth considering to retreat out of combat. It's not a problem, there's no face loss there. So let's start up with shooting. Misses. Oh well. Continuing attacks. 1 hit. Is it wound on a 2? It wounds on a 2. No save. And there's a 2nd wound. Okay, let's finish this duel off. So let's have him return his attacks. 3 hits. Looking for 5s and 6s. 2 6s. Will he take down the champion? And he makes his saves. So again, okay, so I can leave it there because I think this fight will just continue and cycle on and on. When the Reivers get in close, they shut down the firepower from the opponents and they make themselves a great nuisance. With Death Guard, it is very hard to kind of keep up with them. They do move very slowly, so try and block off any avenues that you can. Some of the advice I can give you right there. Other than that, that's been fun. Again, that's the next mission, so you have a go at that. Tell me what happens for you, and we'll tally it up. I'm not too sure who that really is a win for. Space Marines have got away with the objective. That's what they're meant to do. The last one was kind of a draw, so maybe this is for a Space Marine victory for what it is. But the Plague Guard seem to have set themselves in. They're not leaving. They've even started to corrupt the map. Anyway, this has been Spect. I've enjoyed my time. I hope you've enjoyed yours. PC